12 years after winning the right to host the 2022 World Cup, the tiny Gulf state of Qatar has completed the building of the stadiums, 5-lane motorways, and a $36 billion metro system in order to ensure that fans from all over the world can attend the 4-week competition. However, how prepared is Qatar to pull it off? Let's find out. The organisers have presented at least one undeniable fact amid all the hyperbole and self-promotional rhetoric that draws us closer to the World Cup finals in November. On its website, FIFA boasts that Qatar will produce a World Cup like no other, and for all its controversies, it looks like this is going to be the case. The 32 best teams in international football are set to arrive in a small, oil and gas-rich nation perched on the Persian Gulf, together with an estimated 1 million fans. With a parcel of land no larger than Yorkshire, 8 new stadiums and £27 billion worth, or $29.8 billion worth, of metro systems have been specially constructed. The spectacular designs of Al Bayt Stadium and Al Janoub, shaped like a pearl, will ensure that Qatar receives a perfect score of 10 out of 10 for aesthetics and stylistics, while all 8 of the new stadiums are ready and match tested for the World Cup. There are very few fan amenities available, despite the fact that the extensive 5-line highways and metro system are ready to connect fans between the stadiums, with the longest journey taking no longer than an hour from Al Janoub in the south to Al Bayt in the north. The organisers are confident. They insist that this is Qatar's big moment, a wonderful opportunity to present itself to the world as a rising force. However, some people are still doubtful. With less than 3 weeks until the World Cup, reassurance over accommodations, transportation and security are still being sought. A World Cup has never previously been packed into a space this small. This is essentially a World Cup that a single city is hosting, and not even one that is particularly large. Qatar is currently a large construction site. While some hotels and apartments will be completed, it is certain that others won't be done in time. A 5-year proposal to construct hotels, restaurants, stores and residences around the Lusail is still years, not months, away from completion. So, where will the estimated 1 million travellers stay? Half of Qatar's current population, or 1.3 million spectators, are expected to visit the country during the World Cup, according to the Qatar Supreme Committee, which is in charge of organising it. And here's the bad news. There won't be enough space for all of them to stay in Qatar. Here's a little good news though. Earlier this year, Qatar agreed for 160 daily shuttle flights between Doha and the United Arab Emirates to allow fans to take the 40-minute flight from Dubai and Abu Dhabi. There are normally just 6 flights each day that service the route. The few accommodations available in Qatar itself range from sleeping pods, which cost $80 per night, to the luxurious beach homes on Banana Island, which are available for £2,500 per night and are approximately a 20-minute boat journey from Doha. Bookings have already been made from the families of France and England players, according to the sources at Banana Island, according to ESPN. The Supreme Committee and FIFA have reserved 20,000 hotel rooms in Doha for teams and officials, and the remaining 20,000 rooms will be available a month before the competition. At Al Khor, premium tents are available for $380 a night in tented campsites, similar to those provided at music festivals like Coachella and Glastonbury. However, despite the fact that thousands will soon be granted rooms at the Al Wakra camp for $190 per night, they currently don't offer much in the way of luxury. Although the organisers claim they would be prepared and appealing in time for the World Cup, many fans may find them to be a cultural shock. Then there are the handful of fan villages, which include the opportunity to stay in either a tent, a cabin or a caravan. According to reports, Accor, the multinational hospitality company and this World Cup partner, has made close to 120,000 rooms available through an accommodation portal. The fan villages, which are being sold by third parties through the official lodging platform, won't be luxurious. The 2-star Ketefan Island North site, close to the planned city of Lusail, has 1,800 tents with 2 single beds and a nightstand. However, bathrooms and showers will be shared. For the first week of the competition, 1 tent will be rented for $1,450 for 7 nights. However, it will not come with free admission to the nearby Ketefan Beach Festival. According to the organisers, each fan village will have a food court and be served by shuttle buses. However, there is no assurance that live World Cup games will be shown there. The proximity of some, if not all, is not ideal. 6 miles north of the Lusail Stadium, which is where the red line of the metro stops, is a location of fan village cabin Zafaran, which only has a small amount of availability for the first week. Only buses and taxis will be available for transportation from these places. So, how easy is it to get around Qatar and the 8 stadiums? As long as you can find your way into Qatar, you shouldn't have any problems getting into any of the 8 stadiums. There won't be any challenging journeys for supporters as there were for the most recent World Cups in Russia and Brazil, since Qatar is small, extremely small, at around the size of Connecticut or half the size of Wales. Plus, one good news is that Qatar has constructed new roadways and an interconnected metro system. The metro costs just 6 rial or $1.65 for a day pass, and it will be free for the duration of the World Cup for fans with match tickets. Ubers are readily accessible and reasonably priced too. A 30-minute journey from Hamad International Airport to central Doha costs just 40 rial or $11. If they're feeling ambitious, fans can ride the metro to all 8 locations in just over 2 hours. Having a match ticket and installing the Hayya app are prerequisites for entering Qatar. Not only will this allow supporters to display their tickets, but it will also grant them access to transportation, lodging, dining and some retail stores. Then there are buses, again available free of charge. As well as 800 electric buses, there will be another 3,000 regular buses ferrying passengers around the region. Organisers say buses will be made available to connect every fan village and point of interest. Another important thing to consider is the temperature. Wouldn't it be too hot for fans and players, as the place is basically a desert? Well, all the stadiums will have air conditioning for fans and players throughout the tournament, with the exception of 974 Stadium, but it may not be necessary given that temperatures in November and December are unlikely to reach 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. During games, the temperature in stands will be kept between 21 and 22 degrees Celsius or 69 and 71 degrees Fahrenheit, through vents at seat level, so supporters may even need to bring a coat to some games in order to avoid feeling chilly. Huge vents at the side of the playing field, which will be managed by 350 separate sensors buried beneath the grass, are where the air conditioning is located at pitch level. They will take the temperature and humidity readings, and the air conditioner will regulate the temperature for the players on the field as necessary. Additionally, the air will be continuously refreshed to guarantee the best possible quality, removing dust and pollen and providing ventilation to help stop the spread of viruses like COVID-19. Qatar will also be ready to keep all of its visitors safe. A significant security effort now surrounds every major competition or event, and Qatar will be no exception. They will recruit professionals and personnel from nearby countries because of the size of the security forces. During the competition, the Royal Air Force of the United Kingdom will assist in air patrols, and the US Air Base at Al Udeid will also offer security and intelligence support. On the ground, Qatar has constructed a control centre in the style of NASA as a spy zone to serve as the focal point for managing what happens inside every stadium throughout the World Cup. At least 2,000 surveillance cameras are installed in each stadium to keep an eye on the turnstiles and the movement of the crowd. For crowd control, operators can also zoom in on each individual seat. If crowd flow is too high or too low at particular times, artificial intelligence programs will activate warning systems. Another concern for travelling supporters will be what to do away from attending games. Doha is culturally very different from the big capital cities of Europe. Although there are museums, mosques and shopping centres to explore, this is expected to be far more low-key than World Cups recently held in Russia and Brazil. This curiously trademarked FIFA Fan Festival will take place in Al Bida Park, a large green space in the heart of Doha. It will be free to enter, open every day, according to organisers. The Arcadia Spectacular, which features the enormous metal spider made famous at Glastonbury music event, and the daily festival at Qatar Fan Beach Fest, will also be there. The structure, which was transported over from the UK, features an elevated DJ booth. There is a space for 15,000 revellers, each of whom must pay £75. Although there are still concerns about the availability of TV coverage in Qatar, the fan zones will be a popular location to watch live games. The World Cup broadcast rights are held by BIN Sports, which is currently not a free-to-air channel. Some smaller hotels and apartment blocks will not meet the high subscription fees, but it's expected a compromise with BIN will be reached for the duration of the World Cup. So, is Qatar ready? Well, all we can say for now is that it will be a different World Cup than previous ones. But the critical elements are now in place, with stadiums and infrastructure projects completed. The major issue will be the lack of accommodation. A tournament without the off-field distractions of World Cups in many locations around the world may be also in store for spectators, but there is no overt worry in Qatar that time is running out for the task at hand. The environment should guarantee ideal playing conditions for football, and the facilities are already of the highest calibre. Whether or not Qatar is ready will be revealed very soon, when the World Cup kicks off. Do you think they will be ready in time? Let us know down in the comments section.